All right, let's check Twitch.
All right.
So what's up? How did you get to San Antonio? Like, do you have a connection to San Antonio, like through your
Yeah.
in-laws or?
Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So what we was living in Ireland actually for the beginning of this year,
Yeah.
and then when our 3 months was up, we were like scheduled to go back to New York,
Yeah.
and it was right after St. Patrick's Day. We were gonna like have a blast in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, and then fly back to New York. And that
How do you get to
plan
San Antonio? Like, do
started to
you?
fall up. Like we were watching the virus news, and it started to fall apart like
Yeah.
uh, way before. Like they canceled St. Patrick's Day, and then they like closed everything in Ireland, and then they closed the flights from the continental Europe to the US, and then we like started moving we were scrambling. We like moved our flights up to that weekend. It was like the 14th or 15th,
Okay.
and we were going to go to New York, and then we moved them again. And we're like, no, we shouldn't even go to New York. We should just go right to San Antonio, because we knew where we're staying now is like a house we are renting from Megan's family's neighbor. So we're next door to her cousins.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's a good setup. But like we don't have an apartment in New York right now, so we didn't want to like go and then try to find a place.
Oh, okay. So your
in this
lease is
crazy
done. Like,
time.
is your stuff in storage or what?
Yeah, all this stuff's in storage. We gave up our lease in November.
Oh, wow, that worked out really well for you then.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky on not going to New York.
Nice. Um, so all your stuff's in storage right now in New York.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, pretty convenient.
Nice. Um, and then you grew up in SF proper, like your
Not
family.
proper, in the suburbs of SF. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't been back there. I was there a couple months ago, but yeah,
Word.
everyone else on my family side is holed up in SF. I
Were
just
you
saw
from
them
South Bay
this
or
morning.
from East Bay?
Yeah, from the South Bay.
Word. All right. Are
Yeah,
you on
saw them
chess.com?
this morning. Yes, my username is Raf So, RAFSO.
Word. Okay. Um, and were you gonna go back to New York, or now that you're at a Namebase, you can just like work wherever, or what's up with that?
I think we're planning to go back. We'll see. The Namebase has 3 people in New York, including me, so there's kind of a reason to go back.
Are you
But we
Raf
don't
SOL?
know.
Raf?
Raf So, no L.
No, I don't see
So
Raf SO.
maybe I'm not a real account yet because I just created it. Maybe I will try to add you.
Cool.
How do I
Undiversified bonds.
with no underscores?
Yeah, no underscore.
Okay, so how do I do that? I go
Go to
play.
connect to and then friends.
Okay. Where's friends?
Yeah.
I don't see friends.
Uh,
Oh, I must have clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, I did. Okay, I see it.
yeah.
So diversified, all one word.
Yeah.
Nothing comes up.
So 1 year.
Oh, I have to add you. Add
Yes.
friends.
Add.
Okay.
Yeah. That whole like friend zero and then add invite friends thing is weird.
Great. I sent you a friend request.
Okay. Cool. This is happening.
All right.
Oh shit.
The streamers on Twitch make it look so seamless.
I know, right? Like,
So,
this is like the most hacked together thing ever, and it's amazing. Like, I have so much more respect for streamers now.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Especially the like beginning when no one is watching, right? So the streamers they have
Yeah.
like 1 follower and they're just grinding away, trying to make it big.
For sure.
Yeah, it's hard. So how's your setup in Austin? You've been there like what, a year and a half now?
Yeah,
Something
so
like
I've
that?
been in this house for over a year now. I was living like full time in Austin though for maybe like 3, 4, 6 months before that. I just like
Nice.
Airbnbs and stuff like that. And then I was
Yeah.
off and on in Austin for like a year or two before that. So it's been good. I mean, I basically live in the suburbs, you know? Like I live in
Yeah.
Austin, but it's like downtown I feel like is the only dense area in Austin.
Sure. Yeah.
But I also live in like a pretty specific area. Like I'm really just walking
Uh-huh.
around and I'm like I'm just taking a walk with my mask on to the Chinese grocery store specifically. And
Yep.
like the Chinese grocery store, like there's no lines there
Sure.
because
Sweet.
no one wants to go to the Chinese grocery store except for Chinese people.
Yeah.
And then like most of the people there are wearing masks and it's chill. I imagine if I had to go to like some other grocery stores, it might be more stressful. Like people are just like constantly like trying to book their like Instacart or Amazon Fresh orders. Are you doing that?
I've tried, but kind of gave up because it was just so hard to get a
Okay,
spot.
yeah. Like
Like
I've been hurt.
HEB and Walmart and
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, so you've
Like
been
it's
going
possible for.
yourself, but you haven't been wearing a mask. You should try to wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
We
you might
finally
be
got some today.
asymptomatic. You know, what do you want to play?
Yeah.
You want to play? What's like
Yeah. I don't know how
the
to.
lowest stress?
Nah, just make it fast.
Make it fast.
Yeah.
We
Well,
can't
it's like a
bullshit
10-minute
then.
one. Okay. Fair
I
enough.
mean, I can probably bullshit, but it'll probably be really distracting for you.
Yeah. No, I'm not expecting to win the fast games. I've never
Let's play.
played
Let's
on
play.
the.
15-10 to start. And
Okay.
I think there's a mode where I can like we'll play unrated. I think I can like give you time too.
I don't care about spewing rating.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like I already lost rating to a bot. So I can play
Really?
bots and lose rating to them.
How'd you do that?
I just played a game with.
Are you on
Oh,
right now?
maybe that was a
It
real
says you're not
person.
live. They have been notified of your challenge.
Okay, I'll accept the challenge.
Word. You're in line now. Okay, great. So oh.
I cannot accept this challenge. Oh, I have to somehow leave the existing game. I'm in some game I played with a bot,
Oh, weird.
I think.
I think
I don't know how to leave
too.
it. It says I cannot accept this challenge.
Great. How do I cancel? Yeah, you can just resign or abort your.
Yeah, I did resign, but I don't see how to leave this game. It says like Philip the bot beat you, and then I can analyze the report and see where my mistake was, but I don't know how to leave. Try challenging me again, or I'll challenge you.
Okay.
New game. Hang on, new game. I don't know what's going
This
on.
interface like baffles me. So I grew up playing chess, but I pretty much like quit playing chess when I was in middle school. And we used to play with like these online chess servers that had I don't know if it was open source, but it had a specific format that you could like build clients for that format. And so you could choose like what software client you use to connect to these like servers. And it was kind of like
the IRC of chess.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, I assume it like used similar like backend to IRC because it had like chat and channels and stuff. So this like web interface is really throwing me off. Okay, challenge.
Okay, I think I figured out. Okay,
play. Whoops.
You're gonna challenge me. Yeah, you challenge me. I don't know how to set up the game, like how to make a 10-15 exactly.
Oh.
But I did escape from my battle against Philip the bot.
Nice. Okay. Accidentally challenge you to rate. Okay. No, this should work. Unrated. 15 minutes, 10 seconds. Okay. They have been notified of your challenge.
All right, waiting. Okay, I see it. Great. We fight.
Word. All right, here we go.
Strong.
When in doubt, just mirror me. What do you know about chess?
Very little.
Okay.
I know.
When did you learn how to play? What?
I mean, when I was a kid, but like learned how to know the rules. I know the rules, but like learn how to play well.
Yeah.
Never learned how to play
Gotcha.
well.
But you learned like from playing like family and friends and stuff.
Yeah, and friends. Yeah, I had some friends who were very into it, and I talked a little bit with them. But
yeah. Do you play games?
Don't really know what games. Chess games?
Any game.
Yeah, a lot.
What do you play?
What do I play? Lots of Crushed. Lots of let's see, board games.
Like tabletop? Like what kind of board games?
Yeah. Oh, like
German?
Kind of German style board games.
Yeah, okay.
And am I getting destroyed here?
Yeah,
this is going to go there, and then you're going to fork the queen.
You know what forks are, okay. I didn't know what you know.
How can I stop it? No, I guess I can move the queen. That stops it.
Yeah, you could also.
I should move the bishop out.
Protect that.
The white.
F7
I can move the white bishop.
You could play
F7.
Knight H6. You know, like algebraic notation.
I mean, I can figure it out. Knight. Yeah. Which knight? This knight.
Yeah, the G knight G.
The G knight.
H6. You could do that.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. I was thinking of moving the white bishop to E6, but then it just gets killed.
Yeah, it just gets killed.
Okay, then
okay. That's a bad move. Let's prolong this game a little bit. So you play a lot of board games.
Yeah, a lot of board games. In college, a lot of card games like poker and Magic.
Okay.
Tons of poker and Magic.
Like competitively, or like how, in what capacity?
Yeah, competitively.
Interesting. Okay.
Wait, couldn't I have just taken your knight with a queen? Was there some reason I couldn't do that?
Yeah, bishop C1.
Oh, bishop. Yeah.
Protecting it. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, it's all good. What do I do here? I could play this. So are you good at Magic and poker? Like, what do you play?
Oh yeah, I'm okay at poker, like at a like more than casual, and then very good at board games, very good at Magic. I think I am. I don't like the very. Oh yeah, you can just take with that, huh? I don't like the.
It's not necessarily
it breaks up your whole forking plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
it definitely diverted me. It saved you from something.
Yeah, well, because now I can move my white bishop out, which was the goal, I think.
Yeah, you can move to G or B7 or D7 are your best bets here. D7 is good because it prevents this pin. Well, you need to protect your knight first off, but
yeah,
D7 prevents the pin, but B7 might be more strategic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. D7 feels like it kind of traps the queen and king, makes a mess back there.
It does, kind of. Yeah, it does, but, defense.
Yeah, playing too much defense.
All right.
And I don't like games with no hidden information. Like, they feel like really brute forcey to me.
No hidden information?
Yeah, like chess. Like there's no hidden information, right? It's all totally deterministic, and it just feels like a compute race. Like who can go deeper down the tree?
Okay.
And I don't know. I really don't like compute races like that. I really like when the uncertainty like explodes exponentially. So I can only I can't you can't look more than 3 moves ahead. Something like that.
What did you like? How did you play Magic? Like, did you play in tournaments or like did you play just with friends?
Yeah, I played a lot of tournaments, a lot of like competitive. We like in college we had a good group of like people who were all very into it and played a ton, and we all got very good at it. Like we all played. I think we all played on the like pro tour.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Like not everyone was a pro, but like everyone played at least once. And now, and maybe 2 people 10 years later.
Like how do you qualify for the pro?
You have to like win a 200-person tournament.
Okay. And like, is there a specific format for that?
They change it a lot, but yeah, there's lots of different formats. So yeah, you have to be, and I think that's very fun because people get, because it's so hard. Like winning those 200-person, it got forked anyway. Was there something I could do about this?
This is fine for you. It's just kind of
I can just you can you can trade if you want. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you do need to move your queen though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where. There's not a lot of good spots.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple spots.
There's like 2 reasonable ones, I guess. Yeah, got very into it. It was fun, just like getting really good at something and then being able to take all the lessons from that to other stuff. And I don't really play much anymore. Like I play, poker maybe once a year, and Magic maybe once or twice a year.
What was your like best performance in the Magic tournament or Pro Tour rather?
I played at 2 Pro Tours, and in both of them,
those are like qualifiers or what?
Oh, so the qualifiers are. So what is going on here? What happens if I take this? Like I don't understand your plan.
I'm just trying to cause chaos, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you screw up. You screw up my whole.
Yeah. This is chaotic.
Yeah. But like, if you eat that, you're like forking the pawn. I guess I don't understand what's going on. Can I castle out of check?
No, you can't castle out of check. You couldn't castle anyways because my knight is has influence over d8, so you can't move through.
Yeah, it didn't see that. Okay.
Nice. Okay. You're doing pretty well here. So what do I do now? I guess I just take.
Can I? That was just a trade, right?
Yeah.
Is there a trap here?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Right now I can look about 2 moves ahead in chess.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Do not go very far down the tree.
Yeah, you're not.
But it's not a fast
player.
Not a fast 2 move. It's like takes 10 seconds to look 2 moves ahead.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way still. Like, there's obvious things that I lose to, and I'm like, wow, that was really bad that I lost to that.
Yeah.
But I'm like pretty good otherwise. But I just make a lot of really bad mistakes. So there's there's the Pro Tour, which are qualifying events for like the championship. Is that how it works?
No, they're kind of the end of it. They qualify for like a basically you want to get on the next one. Like if you do well at 1, you go to the next one. If you do well at like 2 or 3, then you're like permanently invited for the rest of the year.
Okay.
But the way the circuit works is they would have. I think they've changed it now. There's now 3 levels, but when I played, there were only 2 levels. There was like a regional qualifier, like you would go play everyone else in your kind of maybe metro area or state, and then if you win that, you get like a free invite, and they fly you out to the bigger ones. And I think it's now even more. It's even harder.
Word.
But I haven't done that in like a decade.
Yeah. What, like, were you all about building your decks, or were you more like?
Not.
I don't really like. I vaguely understand how Magic works from like the competitive level.
I think it's very interesting. Oh, I can't move this night.
Yeah, you can't move that night.
I'm kind of trapped here.
Luckily you're safe-ish, so.
Yeah. What's this pawn doing? Can't move that. Every piece is just trapped except this rook, I guess. Can I go cause trouble with this rook? Not really.
You can try whatever you want, man. I've lost to much worse players, so. Like, I guess back then too, like this is what, like 5-10 years ago?
Yeah, this was about 10 years ago.
Like the game probably
no,
was
more
very
than that.
Different.
Yeah, this was 10 to 15 years ago was when I played a lot.
Yeah.
And it was the kind of the way it would go is people pretty quickly would figure out the like good strategies, and then the cards would be fixed for say 3 months, and every 3 months they'd like get some slightly new cards.
Yeah.
And the people would pretty quickly, in say 3 or 4 weeks, figure out what the like good strategies were, because somewhere in the world would pull it off, and then everyone else would see. Like people like me would just like trawl all of the results that were posted anywhere in the world, and you would see everyone's strategy. You didn't quite have replays, but you could like see the lists they use, and then do some. If you knew what was going on, you do some inference, and you could usually figure out what the list was. Or people playing online would pretty quickly converge on what was working, because you would just see like if you could win a tournament, if you won a bunch of matches, then it was probably a pretty good strategy. And then so that's about the first third of the season of these 3-month seasons would be that. And then the second 2/3 of the season is this really like rock, paper, scissory, metagamey thing where you would try to take one of the good strategies and then like bastardize it a little bit so that it would be advantaged against the other good strategies. So you would make it like kind of overall it would be maybe weaker. Like you would be trading some power against like, a random opponent for some advantage against the opponents that you expected to see, because you knew all of the other good strategies. So you would get this really interesting like kind of emergent behavior. Like if you've ever done those like cellular automata charts where like you have interesting interactions between different cellular automaton, or like the petri dish example. Like the classic petri dish example is you have 3 bacteria. One of them produces a toxin and is immune to its own toxin. One of them is immune to the toxin but doesn't produce any toxin. And the third one doesn't have any immunity to the toxin at all, but it grows really fast because it doesn't have to spend any energy on defense or offense. Yeah. It's just like, spam.
And you like that dynamic?
Yeah, I really do.
Because there's like a lot of switching back and forth in the meta game too.
Right. Yeah, a lot of, exactly.
Yeah, I played for the first time like a couple months ago, and it was interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think the learning curve is really tough.
The learning curve is tough. I mean, you have to invest a lot of money into it. You have to know all of the new releases. Well, it depends on what format, obviously, right?
Right.
There's a lot of like, I get why people are into it, but it's a big commitment to.
I don't think it's. I get a lot out of just like German style board games. They're like 60% as strategically interesting, but you can play with people who've never played the game before. You just teach them in and out. I know. I don't have any. I'm talking to avoid making a good move or a bad move.
I think I can give you more time. Yeah. Okay. At 15 seconds. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of German board games do you play now?
What have I played recently? I like Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
Terra Mystica.
I think I
played some Pandemic.
Okay, Pandemic's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard, good. I like co-op games primarily for me for board games.
Oh. Yeah.
I hate deception games. Like that's just so not my shit.
Oh yeah,
I'm really not into it. But other people seem to be.
What's my plan? Oh wait, I had a plan. This might work.
What's your plan?
Well, no, it won't work, but I'll make something happen.
Yeah, that's not bad. You save your pawn here. And I don't really have any moves. Like, this is literally my only move, so we'll do it. Check.
All right, now what?
Can I just do the
same thing again? You played a lot in college. We played it with our Magic crew. I haven't played it recently. They keep making expansions, right?
I think I've played like 2 expansions, yeah. That seems like a good middle ground. Like, it's less, there's less cards, obviously, and like, you don't have to draft.
Yep, definitely.
I tried playing some of like the new like Magic the Gathering competitors. Like I played Artifact. I played Keyforge.
Oh, I haven't played any of them. I played Netrunner once.
Richard Garfield, dude.
Oh yeah, he just keeps making them. I played Netrunner, which he made maybe 10 years ago.
I haven't played that.
I played it once or twice.
Everyone says it's amazing though.
I heard good things. I didn't play it enough to understand. I played maybe 2 games, so didn't play enough to have an opinion.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, you can do that, huh? And you can take the other one.
I think you're okay for now.
Yeah, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm just trapped while you slowly eat the pieces.
Well, I think it's good if you move out of the pin.
Move who? The queen out?
Move your king out of this pin. You know what I mean? Like, if you moved king, king to, you have to move king, D8, C8, E8. You could move queen.
Yeah, I can move queen to E7.
Yeah, that works too.
That maybe is better.
When
you get that pawn. You don't even get that pawn. I don't know. I don't really.
You're not, because the rook is here.
Right. I don't really see how I can break out of this trap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But there's nothing I can really do right now. That's the other.
I mean, you can move your rooks out, I guess. Let's get more pieces in play. Yeah, you could castle. That'd be a good move.
Yeah. Well, I can't castle now because my queen's hanging. Decide whether I should move back.
Oh yeah, this move you cannot. But.
I feel like we're gonna have to trade queens at some point.
Yeah, I think trading queens is good for me, maybe.
It's
because then I can move these pieces, all these pieces that are being kind of pinned. Like it breaks the pin, basically. So that's why I'm trying to force it. But I don't actually. Like that's the only thing I can see that might improve the.
Well, so like from a chess theory perspective, you're not supposed to trade when you're down material. When you're down material, or the reverse is also when you're up material, you're supposed to trade more because it removes complications from the game.
Right.
But you're also in a more precarious position than I am, so it's arguable whether
I think I have to like trade queens, and then somehow then that opens up. I can move some of these pieces out of pin, and then try to force some tempo.
Okay, so you know how this game works. Or you at least have
I'm
some
down like what
analogs.
A pawn.
Yeah, you're down 2 pawns right now. They say right next to your name, you'll see the materials that you've captured, and then you'll see that I have 2 + 2.
Okay,
which is 2 points, which represents pawns. 2 pawns.
Right.
Like they use tempo in Magic too, right?
Yeah, same idea. So if you knight to here, what do I do? Nothing. I just lose another pawn.
You can play. Yeah, you can do that. But now you're back in your pin.
Right, that's the problem.
All right. What do I do? I will do that.
Ugh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a trap. Sorry. Check.
Am I dead? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Basically dead.
You're not dead, but you're definitely down a lot. If you could have moved rook h3 and
yeah, then that also kind of kills the rook. Like it's
eventually
doesn't do anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I just like move. I could like physically attack it with my king, but you get sidelined. So why did you stop playing games?
It just takes too much time.
Yeah, you're just like not that dedicated to it.
Yeah, like it was hard to be like very into it and very good, and then to switch to like not being that good.
Yeah,
just it's like not nearly as fun to go in that direction.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm kind of like that's kind of what surprised me about playing chess again, where I've been able to kind of like refine this joy, just like playing shitty chess.
Yeah,
and I'm still like decent, I'm still like pretty good. I suspect that if I made a serious effort at it, I could reach like the national master rank.
Yeah, nice. I think if I played Magic as much as I did 15 years ago, I would be easily very good at it.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not. I can't play 40 hours a week. That's probably 20 hours a week is what it would take.
You probably don't need to play that much, though, do you?
Depends how good.
Yeah.
Like to be better than I was, probably at least 20 hours a week, more like 30 or 40.
You don't have to win, though. Just like being involved in the scene and like.
Oh yeah, but that's not that fun.
It's not that fun. Just to be like a pundit.
Oh yeah, no, that's not fun.
Have you ever played in like the finals? Is that what it's called?
They didn't have that when I was around.
Okay. Nice. All right. What are we doing here? What do you still keep in touch with those friends from college that play games?
Not very often. Some of them. Like some of them I was close with. Berkeley.
Berkeley. Okay. Did you study CS?
Yeah.
Word. And these were like CS people?
No, only one of them. They were pretty all over the map. What was it like? Math, bio, English.
Yeah. Huh.
Kind of everything.
Do you feel like there's this, like playing Magic has been a part of the reason why you were attracted to crypto? It's kind of a leading question, but I feel like I meet a lot of people that are really into gaming that.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense, right? Because like you're more used to like digital goods and like collectibles.
Yeah, it's very easy to grasp like the value of these things.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to see it.
You don't know the counterfactual.
I guess crypto's a game.
Yeah.
Like I think of crypto as basically a game, and I think of games as very much real things.
Sure.
But not really. If I think of how I got into crypto, I think it was mostly like CS and Twitter and like memeing things into reality.
You don't feel like that was part of like game culture for you? Oh, I had
No.
a different move.
I guess, yeah, to an extent. Like creating a game is a social shared reality. Like the James Carse book.
Yeah. Infinite Games.
That feels like a huge crypto book to me.
Oh, interesting. You're,
Like
talking about finite and infinite games, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. What specifically? Like you're designing like an infinite game?
Yeah, like if you accept that games are important and like a big part of the culture and the human condition, and then it's pretty easy to go from there to it's pretty easy to be like, okay, I think finite games are boring. Like chess is a finite game, and I think it's boring. Probably because I don't understand it as an infinite game.
Yeah.
Like the infinite game of chess is like metagaming and studying openings and like
totally,
playing your opponent because they never played this opening, and like that I think would be interesting. But like where I am in chess is like very boring for me because I'm like,
I feel you.
Oh, I can think 2 moves ahead, and someone who's drilled for months can think like 3 or 4, and someone who's drilled their whole life can think like 7, and it's just hopeless. Like why would I even if I get to 3, I'll just be worse than the person who can think 4 moves ahead. And it just like feels very unrewarding because the curve is so, I don't know if it's steep because I've never tried to go down the curve, but the curve is so long. Like it doesn't feel like there's payoffs. And so chess feels like a finite game to me, even though I'm sure a chess master could easily explain how it's infinite, but I can't. And
yeah, totally. I think so. Yeah, just trying to reflect. No, that's totally like one of the reasons why I like quit playing chess. I think because I was just like, this game is like it's mostly about getting draws at a competitive level.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point? But I think what I've reclaimed for myself is that it's fundamentally it's a social experience.
Right.
And so it's not competitive. Like that's I think the switch recently where I was like, fuck it, like. We're just shooting the shit, I don't have to like win. I don't have to be good. It's still fun. There's like aspects that are interesting, versus like thinking about a game as like basically like net unproductive. Like that feels really, that feels like a very toxic like way to think about it. Now that I like with more perspective.
Right.
Like, I think before I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, there's no point, But now I can think like, oh, well, why shouldn't I?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, more as like a social experience than like a competitive thing, which I think is like you can think about all sports like that, Like, what's the point of sports?
Definitely. Like what's the community around this game?
Like, if other than that, just like if you lift more weights or you like won a game, like there's no inherent like point to it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean you're definitely done in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't have to do that. I guess I did.
Well, GG, yeah. Who do you play with games with now? If anyone, like just your wife and
family. Wife, brother. Who else? There's some people who I know who like run gaming, like weekly or monthly gaming meetups, but I don't go to those anymore. This like takes too much time.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll have people over to play games, but not very. It's been a while. It's been like a year probably.
Yeah. But even those games, the point of playing board games is to socialize, right? Like, I guess I never really understood like hardcore board gamers otherwise. It just seems like a reason to like meet up with people, not like.
Yeah. Well, I think of it. I think the actual like learning a new rule set is really fun. Like,
interesting.
Like try to internalize the model, as much as you like, as fast as you can,
yeah.
and then like test out theories about like how the interactions of all the rules work, and then compete against other people.
Interesting.
Yeah, I enjoy all those aspects of like trying to basically break down the game and understand it. Basically break it, like try to optimize it, like put on my optimizer hat and just start
that's
optimizing.
Such like an engineering way of thinking about the world.
Oh yeah, that's how I play games. Totally how I play games. And I think it's very annoying for people who don't like to play games that way. They just hate it.
That's funny. There's like terms for like people that do that in like MMOs, right? That like
min-maxers. Yeah.
What is it?
I think it maybe it's called min-maxer.
Min-maxer. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an interesting blog post about basically breaking the Minecraft economy, I think.
Is this by Alice?
Alice Mass.
What's her name?
Yeah. Alice Mass.
Yeah.
That was pretty fascinating. I was like, I would never do this because it just seems like a huge waste of time.
Yeah, it's pretty funny how obsessive people get about these worlds.
I guess I could see why. I mean, it could be very meaningful to people for sure.
Oh yeah. Like it really makes when it's pretty easy to like be confused about why people care about games, and then get really into one, and then generalize it like from there back to life. It's like, why does anyone care about anything?
Yeah,
it's like, because people create a shared social reality.
True.
And then you can like what games prove is that everything is like, is intersubjective. Like everything is important only because other people think it's important.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're just starting out, it's easy to be confused about which things are intersubjective. Like in the real world, like the big things, they seem so important.
Yeah.
Whether it's sports or money or religion, that's like, oh, this is obviously a real true thing. And then you play games, you realize, oh no, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Just different
amounts of importance. That's a good point. But I guess there just seemed like but it's also a productivity trap where it's like, I should be doing something more productive than playing a game. But ultimately, it matters what game you're playing, I guess, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
That's interesting. How do you feel about crypto right now?
I don't know. So I think the reason I got interested in it was because everything outside felt really stuck.
Yeah, good point.
Sure. Everything outside of tech felt really stuck because it was like figured out or moved slowly, or there were incumbents and there was legal stuff. Yeah. And then everything in tech, which I'd been working in for like 10 years, still felt kind of stuck because all the consumer tech just felt really dominated by the big platforms.
Yeah.
Like Facebook and Amazon and Google, like if any economic surplus you generated, like you had to pay them in rent. And so I was like, oh, well, then what about this new thing? Maybe you don't have to, there's no incumbents yet. You don't have to pay rent yet.
Yeah.
Let's go get involved with that. And I think
there's incumbents now though.
like what? Binance?
No, I mean in terms of crypto, yeah, like finance, like regulatory bodies, like there's all sorts of people now.
Yeah, but it's still like Binance is not Google. They're not Facebook. Like I'm not that afraid of them.
Okay.
There's like the future is still unwritten, I think, in crypto. But like the big thing that's changed, I think, with coronavirus is suddenly the future is unwritten, like in the rest of the world too.
Yeah.
Like there's like history got restarted. It's like, oh, should I even be working on crypto anymore if history is back on? Like maybe not.
Interesting. I feel like crypto is more relevant in COVID-19 world because it.
I think it's more relevant too, but I think everything else is suddenly in play.
So like,
I'm not saying
opportunities.
Yeah, I don't think crypto's dead. I just think like everything else is back on.
Huh? Like what?
Like I don't know what I'm doing. That was Oh, I just moved it into. I don't know what's going on. When I can watch the game summary and it'll tell me that's where I lost all the value?
No, it's not a bad move. It's just aggressive. So
I
because
couldn't
like
figure out what that do.
one rule of thumb is you want to keep your king safe, right? So you have to be
I think
very
I already
confident.
screwed that up when I moved pawn from h2 to h3. Like it's already a mess because you can put your bishop to h2.
Well, that's protected by the knight.
Yeah,
it's still true. That like h3 is not a dangerous move.
Okay.
But it depends on what you're trying to do.
What's that do?
I don't know. What does it do? Just opens up the board, I guess.
Yeah.
What other opportunities do you see now? Or what interests you?
I think what I have been meaning to do. I haven't had any free time.
Well, how do you feel? First off, how do you feel about COVID-19? Like, what's your general stance on it?
I think it's going to be really bad, and people are like,
complacent.
Well, certainly lots of people think it's very bad, but it feels like worse than a lot of people and things are pricing in.
How are you thinking about how bad it is? What is bad?
Oh, I was not hoping. Okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Play this game for a sec.
Sure.
So I take your knight, and then you take with the bishop's the only piece that can take.
Yeah.
And then we traded knights, but your bishop is threatening
rook knight. Yeah, knight.
Pinning the rook knight.
Yeah.
But I can move the pawn to here.
Yeah.
So I guess it's okay.
Bishop b2 or bishop d2 or queen. Yeah, you have lots of options.
All right, fine. And then the bishop goes to here. That's not good. All right, that's fine. COVID-19. I don't know. Like when I imagine where did the bishop go? Oh, way back there. It feels like kind of weird. It's like the weird thing to me is that no one is imagining, or I don't hear people talking about the future very much, like the medium-term future.
Okay.
Like not like next 3 weeks, but the next 6 months.
Okay.
Like no one in power seems to be making a medium-term plan. Like how do we get out?
Yeah.
And even no one on that, like no pundits on the internet seem, at least on my feed, seem to be making medium-term plans.
What do you think they're saying?
What?
What do you feel like they're saying?
People are talking about like shorter term and longer term stuff.
Like
people
lockdown
are like, oh, yeah, lockdown. Oh, this week we finally decided to wear masks.
Yeah.
And this country has put in this policy, and this country has this many deaths.
Yeah.
And like very kind of reactive stuff, like the mitigate and that's such a bad move. I guess what I should do is this. And then a lot of long-term stuff like, the U.S. empire is over and China is, the dollar reserve currency status is ended and everyone's going remote. San Francisco's over and all this.
Whoa, SF is over? People are saying that?
No, there's someone on my feed said that. But basically, I'm not saying that's a future I believe in, but I'm saying people are making these very strong predictions about the more after this 18 months in the future about this or that thing being over, totally changed.
Yeah.
And most things will mean revert. But it's people like making big claims on Twitter because it's more interesting.
Yeah.
And I need to make a good move. What should I do? I have to think more than 2 moves ahead, so this might take a minute.
Yeah, please.
I move there, and then you do that. And then, oh, then you do something like that, maybe. And then I do that.
You're pretty good at this game, man,
And then
for
you do
someone that doesn't
that.
play.
Well, thank you.
Like, how did you learn all this stuff?
I think the thing I learned the most about chess was when my good friend was on the chess team junior year of high school, and he was just like obsessed with it and talked about it all the time. And he like made us play.
What chess team? Like, what high school was
like
this?
The high school chess team.
That was a thing?
Palo Alto High School had a chess team. I think
Alto
we had about
Okay.
7 players, and they needed to have 8 to play other teams, right? So they like would find some
random person,
some random to play the 8th seed, and then try to win with their
Were
7.
you ever that 8th person?
No, I was never the
Okay.
8th person. He tried to get me to be the 8th person, but I was like, no, I don't want to go.
You could have
be
been
the
the
bad.
8th person, man. You're not bad. You
Oh,
understand a lot of you understand a lot of the positional things. You just don't necessarily have the like pattern recognition.
Yeah, that's what I know. Like, I know the rules, and I
Yeah.
even know like the theory.
Yeah.
Not I don't know. My chess theory is not that good. I'm like, oh, don't make bad trades and
No, it's
make
pretty
center
good.
control.
Yeah.
But then what I don't know, and what I don't know when I know I don't know, is the people whose brains just totally can just see a board and then recognize all the patterns. Like, I have to compute each pattern, and it's very slow.
Yeah.
And but I've played a lot of other games, so I can kind of like understand from a theoretical level how to what I should be doing. It takes a long time to compute what that is. And right now I don't see what I should be doing.
That's the toughest part about chess. Sometimes it's like not clear. That's like the most aggravating. It's like I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like the nice thing about probabilistic games is the decision tree is not nearly as deep as in chess. Like, you can after about, depends on the game, but 2, 3, 4 moves ahead, there's just fog. Like, the probability cloud is too dense to make any definite moves. So basically all you have to do is look the 4 moves ahead and then compute all the probabilities.
Yeah.
You're not actually literally doing this, but you're like intuitively doing this. Sure. Compute all the probabilities and then pick the one that maximizes the chance to win. And then it's often pretty easy when you get good to just like identify all of the reasonable lines. I mean, this is probably true in chess too. But this is what I want when I don't feel comfortable in the game until I can do this. So I compute all the reasonable lines and then like pick the max expected value or something, or the min-max probability. And the nice thing about probabilistic games is you only have to look 4 moves ahead, and then or 3 or 5, depending on the amount of randomness in the game, like poker or Magic. And then you can just like find the best move. But here, like, I don't even know where to start, like what lines to take, because I feel like I have to look many moves ahead to find a reasonable line. Okay, the thing I wanted to do was press your knight with a pawn, but it's just so bad. I have to find a different plan.
You've kind of already committed to it, though.
I know, that's the problem, but like, I don't know, I'll just make you do something. Because like, I don't see what you do. You don't have like anything going on. I've got more center control than you do. That's so true. I think I should just try creep up the pawn wall, or try to get a rook in play or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
What's this guy doing?
I mean, I think right now you're like E4 is a weak spot for you, right? Because you have this pawn structure makes it really easy for me to just occupy that square, and it can't really be attacked. Right now it's being protected by your knight. So my game right now is like, should I just trade with your knights? Should I try to get rid of your knight somehow? Push it away?
Wait, which square are you talking about?
E4.
D4?
E4.
Oh, E. Yeah.
So that's a very attractive square for me. Also, your pawns are overextended on the king side. So I could try to start attacking that somehow. with my queen maybe, or even like a pawn like h5. I could, yeah, like I could just like try to start breaking up the king side.
Yeah, I guess what I want to do is like get this one of the rooks out like onto a white square and just try to protect the wall and I don't know, make something happen. So I want to get like the A1 rook out because it's just stuck over there, but that's two moves to get him into play. And the the F1 rook is alive but could be better.
Yeah, true. I think
F1
is fine because like it needs to be close to your king. I feel like right now.
Right. All right. I'll just move the.
That's not a bad
queen's
move.
head rook.
Yeah, that's a decent move.
Because he's got now we can play in that whole row.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna do this. This is my idea to try to get some action with your knight. That's my thought. Word. All right, what do we do here?
What's that even do? Trade knights or something?
Yeah. Trade knights.
And then what?
Then my rook just occupies that square, I guess.
Oh yeah.
It's not ideal, but
if I don't do that, you can eat my knight. You can trade over in my zone, which is fine, I guess. So what do you think about crypto these days? Are you still working with Vulcan?
I didn't even hear your what you actually thought about crypto right now.
Oh, I think it is the long-term like promise of it. The probability that it works like went up.
Interesting.
Just because our institutions are like so screwed. And the like a geopolitical decoupling, the odds of that are increasing, and I think crypto is finds in that scenario.
Yeah. Sure.
But I think I think the like long term viability went up like an amount, 20%, 50%, like less than it didn't double, and everything else like I think doubled, like the amount of like stuff that needs to be fixed in the world. And the opportunity, the possible chance that there'll be an opening to fix it, like more than doubled. And so I think I want to I haven't done this, but I want to sit down and reevaluate like what I think the opportunities in the world are.
Yeah, that seems fair. Yeah, definitely. I think we're a lot of people are seeing like failures in our institutions, and yeah, rightfully so. It's been a long time coming. For sure. I need to give you more time still. 15 seconds. Yeah, when you say it's more likely to be successful, what do you you're talking about like a world where there's multiple like blockchains, right?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be multiple blockchains. Maybe not like the Cosmos world where there are hundreds, but like I think several.
Yeah. Okay. And what blockchains are you optimistic about right now? Besides Bitcoin, I assume you're optimistic about Bitcoin.
Yeah, optimistic about Bitcoin. Pretty optimistic about Handshake.
Yeah, how's Handshake going?
Not. It might be dead on arrival.
Really?
Because so I guess I should just take with a queen.
Yeah.
Because like I figure the inputs to blockchain are the inputs to a successful project. The big one is, well, there's two, attention and capital.
Yeah.
And they sort of feed on each other. Like the more capital flowing into the space, the more attention people pay, and the more attention people pay, the more capital flows into the space. And I think COVID, like our first month was great, like tons of interest. But it was, people who had been following this project for years and were very excited for it to finally launch.
Mm-hmm.
And my move, right?
Yeah.
I'm
good.
picking, so it must be. And it went really well. We had lots of interest. Then why are my options always so bad? But then the past month has just been really, it's been impossible to tweet about anything else, right? Besides the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And so the compounding sort of didn't happen. Like we sort of lost all the momentum from the launch month.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't count. So we picked up like a lot of very excited people about it and had a lot of like good integrations that were lined up from before, and none of that. No one heard about any of that. A lot of like we didn't get the attention input that we needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel like that you kind of missed the hype cycle.
Yeah, it was sort of like died halfway through, and you kind of need, that's an important input.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, that being said, that applies to like all blockchains, right?
Besides but BTC. I feel like sure, but you take like a I don't know what another successful one is, but like a random, like a block stack one, right? They've had years to slowly build a community and get people excited about it. And sure, they're off for a few months, but they've already like gotten the word out to people and gotten them plugged into the ecosystem and signed up because they've been able to kind of build on their momentum and their memes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Blockstack in a minute.
No, I don't think it's a good project. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I mean,
bad.
the architecture never really made much sense.
Yeah, it totally doesn't make sense. They're trying to boil the ocean. But it's a good. There's a lot of crypto projects that are like this, where they're like, the thing they're trying to do is promising, and like you could see why people would want to do that, and it's enough to raise money off of, even though it like doesn't make sense. It's not going to can't solve the problem that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's fair.
But if you start on the demand side, it might work. At least for a while, work well enough to raise money.
The demand side? What do you mean by that? What demand?
If you tell a story and then get people to invest in the story, that's the demand. That's what I think was the demand side. If you're like selling the idea to people who are willing to invest, then you're selling to the demand side. The supply side would be like solving the problem, finding people who have the problem, who have a problem, and solving it for them, which Blockstack hasn't done, right? They sold people on the story, but they haven't actually delivered on the story. Like the other way would be, maybe supply and demand is the wrong analogy.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
see what you're saying though. Yeah, you're like, for Blockstack, it's like it's basically sold the idea that it's like a developer platform, but they have no users, and that's like a primary issue for a lot of people.
Right.
It's like,
so,
you have a blockchain.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
if they're in between,
shit.
Right. So if they're like in between developers and users, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
The supply and demand, now that you mention it, is not really the right.
I guess to your point though, like I wonder if there is like a project that did. I guess you're saying like something that had like a lot more mature like foundation.
Well, it's not technical; it's product market fit, right? Like,
yeah.
I think what I think of crypto is the supply is like actual working product market fit, where people are building on it and paying for it.
Yeah.
And there's an ecosystem. Like every crypto project promises to be like an ecosystem, and they all claim like, oh, invest in it on the demand side. You know, they're trading. Oh, you moved? What'd you do?
Bishop A5.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, the supply and demand analogy was capital is the demand side, and like a working ecosystem where people put his money, you can collect rent on, is the supply side. Like, I think of crypto as like a capital market. Like, you're selling future cash flows to investors, and the future cash flows come from consumers. You make some usable product that people would pay to use. And basically no projects have that. Like, all the like platform, the Web3 stuff is all promising that, and none of them have found it yet. It doesn't mean they won't.
Yeah,
but I think something like Blockstack is a lot harder, a much bigger lift, because you have to get everything right. You have to get storage and developer tooling and all these things to work. But something like, all the file storage ones, like I think one of them will probably work. Maybe all of them, if they're all making different trade-offs.
Yeah. There's like storage and Filecoin.
I think Storj is dead, but Sia and Filecoin are alive. I think Space Mesh sounds like they're making progress.
Space Mesh was storage?
What?
Space Mesh is storage?
I don't think so, no. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about either one. I know Space Mesh is alive. I haven't heard anything from StoreJ in a while, but I haven't been following them. But I think like in general, that category of like big distributed storage networks seems like it'll work. Okay. Like seems like it's possible and seems like
it definitely seems
theoretically has product market fit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Space Mesh. I know they have like a proof of space-time thing. I remember seeing that a long time ago.
Yeah, I think they all do.
Like Chia has its own proof of space-time thing, right?
Yeah, it's different though, right? They're talking about a different space-time.
Yeah, it's like proof of space-time in the sense of like they are proof, like they're not actually storing useful files. Like they're just using storage.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not like, proof of useful storage.
As like mining, quote unquote. Farming is what they call it, I think. I wonder what's up with Chia.
Which one?
Chia. I wonder what's up with it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard anything. Sounds like they're just
plugging away.
They're trying to build it.
Yeah. I mean, Bram Cohen's a smart dude, so he'll figure it out.
Well, maybe, but he's a smart dude who also has enough of a reputation to raise. Like I don't think he did this, but he could if he want raise it without having thought it all the way.
I think he's definitely a very smart guy. I think it's the opposite issue is that like maybe he's too smart for his own good. Like he thinks he has the solution. It's like we don't need to mine. Like we just need to like farm. It's like okay, do people actually care about that? I think is like
yeah.
I don't know. Like I kind of think like maybe they care about it. That's like.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a solution in search of a problem.
They might care about it though, like I do see like there is a point.
That angle is a solution in search of a problem. I think it might actually make sense. The payments use case I think is still unsolved. Like if you want to make like mobile payments work, nothing like basically digital cash. It's like Bitcoin wasn't it. Nothing else is close. But if there is an opportunity, if it's possible, I don't know if it is, but if it's possible to like make the right set of trade-offs, for like, decentralized Venmo to work, then it's a gigantic opportunity, and you should, go write the perfect tech stack.
Why should someone use that solution? Right? Like why would people care about Chia in particular? I guess it just has to have enough network effects. Like people just need to like believe in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you make the tech work, then you would have to like also figure out a way to like make the social part of it work. Like you have to. There's this like magic, kind of like it feels very lightning in a bottle to me. But the things you need to make it work are. I think I can concretely say what you need to make work. Make a crypto project work. It's just very hard to do. I don't know how to make it work. It's basically create this sacredness around it, right? Make people excited about it and believe in.
You need some or you just already have the install base, like with the
like Facebook, yeah,
Libra. Although that's dead, right?
But I think it's more like what just happened.
I just moved
pawn up.
Yeah, I'm gonna move my pawns up.
Yeah.
Like Libra is done right now, right? Like
I think so. I don't
know how there's no regulatory buy-in.
Yeah. I mean, they could try to sneak it in while everyone's busy with coronavirus, but I don't.
Seems unlikely. Don't see why they would do that. Why would they make a decision about that right now?
I mean, basically, I think what we learned is none of the tech majors can do it. Right? They can't. They can't launch one.
Apple Cash is interesting, right? And then because it's getting some use. Google Pay getting some use, but it doesn't have a cash product. I don't think, as far as I know. I guess they do. Square.
No, yo, I think Apple Cash is gonna, win.
You think
but
so?
It's not. Oh, it's such a good product.
I haven't.
Yeah, like
I just tried
but
someone.
The way it works is it's within the regulations.
Right.
Like it's just like a strictly better version of KYC than what the credit cards can produce, and it has like lower fraud rates.
It's very smart. It's very smart.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
I read like the fact that you get free Apple Cash from your Apple Card, like that makes so much sense. Like everything about it, like it's a slow and steady race, right? The more and more people that use the credit card, the more it accrues. So that's smart. Yeah, I don't have Apple Cash yet, but so I'm working on a project with Apple right now.
That's nice. What are you doing?
Through a former employer, so I'm just like we're a vendor, but I wanted to go in on a order for a bottle or two of wine, and the person asked me to pay. I was like, "Oh, it's via Venmo," and they're like, "No, like I prefer Apple Cash." I didn't have it, so that was interesting. So I tried to set it up, but I don't have any active debit cards right now. So, womp womp.
Can you set up Apple Cash without an iPhone?
I don't think so. I have an iPhone now. I have an iPhone.
What was the move? I don't see a green dot. Where? Oh, the Queen.
Queen G4.
No, so I'm dead.
You're fine.
No, I'm not dead. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
King is protecting the book. So what's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't do anything, I can take bishop takes f4, and you're double pinned. Your rook and pawn are both pinned. Oh, your AirPods died. Good old AirPods. Time to upgrade.
Yeah, to the pros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, I just shared my secret plan. If you don't do anything, I can take bishop takes f4, and you're double pinned. Your rook is pinned, and the pawn is pinned, so you can't take back. So that was my
bishop takes f4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so that was my move. But you can probably just move away or something.
I don't know what you should move the king out.
Yeah, you could. I guess you need to move.
But then, if I move the king out,
that's your only move.
I have to protect the rook.
Yeah, I think that's.
But you can still do that.
So no, I can't because now you're.
Yeah, it's double protected.
Yeah, you're good. What do I do here? Like the safe move is just moving up my pawn, I think. Like, I feel like there's nothing you can do about this.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the win's in the bag for me.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah. Do you like what's your sentiment with regards to BTC right now? Do you feel like it's fine? It's just doing its thing.
Yeah, it's doing its thing.
Perfect, but
it works.
Yeah,
it's not perfect, but they can't change it.
Yeah,
like it's too late to change, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's room to make like a better version technically. I don't think like it could be much better technically.
Are you satisfied with it? Like do you think it solves a valuable use case? And
yeah, I think it solves digital gold.
Okay.
I think.
But the gamer in you wants something more.
No, I mean,
you don't care.
I don't care. I think it's my move, huh? I think.
You don't have any good moves, so.
No. So.
Yeah, you lose your.
Yeah.
Were you ever like super hyped about BTC though, or were you always just like, oh, it's
No.
kind of cool? Like,
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of cool.
Okay.
I don't know, hyped on it at the beginning of the promise of it. But
were you more hyped about Ethereum then?
Yeah, I was really hyped on Ethereum for probably 6 months.
Okay.
Like early 2017, very hyped on it.
So how do you feel about Ethereum right now?
I don't think it will work.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a good V1. I think it needs to be like rewritten from the ground up, and I don't think
there's the wherewithal.
I think it's too messy and too dangerous. Or that dangerous is the wrong word, but like
sure, it's hard to build anything safely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I think
there's all sorts of scaling problems and blah blah.
Yeah, you can fix that. Like scaling problems fixable. I think. Yeah,
it's just primarily about like the smart contract system. Is too difficult to use.
Too easy to use.
Too easy.
Well, too difficult to write, to use safely, and too easy to use unsafely.
That's fair. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Like, I think the mutable state is like the best and worst thing about it, and I think you like have to go right there. Go to the fact that it's got me. Oh, it's my turn again. What do you do? Oh, you took the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to start with a like mutable state problem, and then just go real deep on it. Like somewhere, maybe there's a good set of trade-offs, because it's really valuable to be able to make DAI-style risk pools.
Yeah.
But it's also really dangerous to share state across the whole system. Like every transaction touches the whole system.
Yeah.
And you can't, when you send your transaction, you can't guarantee that when it executes, it'll be in the state that you thought the world was in when you send it. Like that's the problem. In my mind, the biggest problem. And you have to like go there and figure it out. You have to like make some.
That's a fundamental problem for sure.
Yeah, and the way they're approaching Et2 doesn't solve it. And it's kind of, I think after Et2, it'll be like too late to rewrite anything. It'll kind of be fixed and done. Like you can't. It's already too late. I think you can't like be backwards compatible.
Well, Ethereum 2, I haven't like kept up with this at all, but is literally like a new blockchain, right? Like it's like proof of stake and like
but they're using the same VM and the same language, and that's the problem.
Are they using the same VM? Like, weren't they supposed to use like the WebAssembly?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. But I thought they might still be saying that it's going to happen.
That would help, but you also have to rewrite the. It has to have a special language with special type-safe VM. So I think there's an opportunity for the ETH killer. You know, all these like Haskell gurus and even like maybe Tezos. I haven't looked into it, but like I think they're poking in the right direction. Especially all the like functional programming ones. It's like that's where you want to go. Is think a lot about safety, think a lot about state and mutability, because I think that's like if there's a fatal flaw in Ethereum, that's it. Think about. I don't think it's going to be really hard though, because the first mover is so important, and also Ethereum's founding myth is so good. It's like the second best one after Satoshi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's kind of a limited number of myths. Like you can't just like have the same one as you can't just have the Satoshi myth again or have the Boy Genius myth again. Like you have to come up with a new myth each time. And there's like it goes back to like the story archetypes, right? There's like a fixed number of, you can like cluster all human stories into like a few archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost you pick a different one for each blockchain, I think. This is like pretty far out on the speculative branch. But like, I 70% believe this, is that you have to pick one of those archetypes for your foundational myth, and that the myth is really important. Not what it is, just that you have one.
What's the Ethereum myth?
Boy Genius.
Boy Genius, okay. And then Satoshi is like the anonymous hero.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, I mean, like Tezos, might be better technology, quote unquote, but it's like I just don't see why you would use it, right? Like it doesn't. There's nothing compelling about it necessarily.
Yeah, nothing compelling, and the myth is bad. It's like
the myth got fucked up, like the whole Switzerland thing, and like
exactly.
Haven't been making friends.
Well, that happened to Ethereum too, and it survived. It did fine. Like had the DAO and had the foundation, and did fine. So it's not killer, but yeah, like I guess what's interesting about the Tezos founding story is they did pick another myth. Like there's of the fundamental myths. After one of them is like the love story, and Tezos is just a love story. So they should play that up more somehow. But I think it just because the love story basically it's Catherine and what's the guy's name? The other guy. Yeah, Arthur. So like there's the seeds of a good myth there, but they need to like hire some writers to meme it into a hero's journey.
Yeah, they don't really want to play nice with people though, so.
Yeah. But I think, and I don't think their tech's, I'm not really sure if their tech is better. They say it is. I don't really I haven't looked into it. I don't care enough about smart contracting. I think it's, what do I think?
It's too early. It's too
hard. I don't think I think there's a big mismatch between Ethereum. I think there's an unresolved question that I haven't figured out the answer to, so I'm just ignoring all the smart contract stuff. I think there's no good moves. I think the answer is somehow square the circle of like make a better version of Ethereum that also can move second and have a better founding myth. And like VCs fund a team of genius seems to be the myth everyone is going with. Like I forget the names of all the ETH killers, but like the most compelling ones are like we hired all the smartest people and we put them in a garage in Silicon Valley and give them everything they could want, and they work for years and they're going to produce this
piece of like Definity.
Yeah, Definity, and it was kind of also Tezos' myth too, to just sub out the best distributed system engineers in Silicon Valley for the best functional programmers in Paris. That's like the same one. And I don't think that's a compelling myth, especially with a pre-mine.
It wasn't very convincing.
Yeah, it's so unconvincing.
Why are these guys the best? Like,
right. And I don't think you can do it with marketing or making a better product or better technology. Like, I don't think any of those
Definity and Blockstack too was like PhDs, right? It's like Stanford PhDs, Princeton PhDs, like professors, like. Avalanche is also that, like
Professor Korn, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those myths are really bad.
Yeah.
Like founding myths. They might be good products, I don't know. But the like story is really bad. I think no one wants to hear professor funded VC. I guess that's a pretty good archetype though. It's like the wise wizard
he's
archetype.
Got like, he's had a thing, right? Like he's just been very outspoken and like he's been
kind
of partially right.
Who?
Goon, something.
Oh, I disagree, but.
Especially early on. He was early. He was early very critical of BTC, and he like really? Selfish mining attacks. Like he did a bunch of good research.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's also said a bunch of shit that I think people didn't like, and he's just like trolling people.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has some legitimacy.
That's good.
I don't know if they'll do well, but
I think that project's done. I don't think the tech is even good.
Yeah,
like it doesn't. The trade-off. Everyone made all these trade-offs to solve scalability. Most of the trade-offs don't really solve it. And I don't think it's even the problem. Like it's not like ETH is congested.
Well, it's a proof of stake, so it's also no mining, right?
Oh, I think then you're definitely dead on arrival. If your distribution is selling, I don't think it works.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Cosmos and Polkadot right now?
I feel like they're solutions in search of a problem.
Interesting. I haven't followed what Polkadot is doing, but I like the idea that you can like build your own blockchain in Cosmos. Like purpose specific or application specific blockchains. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It seems more reasonable to me. It's like the idea that anyone can build their own blockchain. It doesn't have to be like universal. That seems reasonable. Right. The idea of like Cosmos being an ecosystem of those seems less viable to me.
Yeah, I mean, we already have an ecosystem. It's called Binance.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No,
if you don't like Binance, you can use Coinbase. Like, you have recourse already.
True.
It doesn't really, and like they're never going to be as good. Cosmos will never be as good as Binance or Coinbase on like user experience, on features.
Yeah.
On speed, it's never be as good.
It's a shame though, because that inherently is going to limit the potential adoption of crypto. It's going through a specific path, regulated, which may be the only mainstream path anyways, to get to consumers.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I think there's no way to not have intermediaries for these really complicated things. But like, that doesn't mean it's not that regulated. Like but as long as going around the intermediaries is like not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hassle and it's hard, and you have to learn how to run your own custodial wallet or something. But
those are UX issues, right? Like, and eventually it's just gonna be like a mobile app.
Maybe it feels like you can't abstract away all the UX issues on a mobile app.
Okay. Depends on what feature. In a feature like Urbit, where you have your own like cloud server, basically.
Yeah, that's, I think, maybe the most promising approach. It's still going to be a tough row to hoe, I think.
That's there's a lot of work that they need to do to make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Oh, well, yeah, I forgot you could do that. That's why I didn't make that move. Well.
Yeah, I feel you. So
what?
If we think that the future is Coinbase, Binance, plus the altcoins or shitcoins or whatever on like Cosmos or some other new thing, and maybe there's an Ethereum 2 killer, and there's BTC, and then there's also Apple Cash and Venmo, and so like what happens then?
I think the interesting things I'm excited about are an ETH killer that works, and stable coins. Like stable coins just like, I don't know if I'm not that excited. I don't think it's a great outcome maybe, but it's basically
it's necessary.
Dollarize the world. Like, I think that's the most likely big change from big possible change from crypto is just like dollarizing a lot of places. Basically, euro dollars for everyone, like not just banks.
Yeah.
Is that mate? No.
Almost.
Is that mate? No.
Not yet.
And then is that mate? No, not yet.
Oh, it should be
in one or something.
Yeah, this is mate. GG.
GG's.
You're a good player. If you wanted to put in the work,
3 mistakes.
You could be very good.
But I have no desire to put in the work.
There's have you played like Bughouse?
I've heard of it. Never played it.
Bunkhouse is fun. It's like it's just towards the end of when I was playing chess, I got really into like the more fun versions of chess. Right, Bunkhouse is 4-player chess, and there you play 2 against 2. So you and I could pair up, and we each get alternating colors. So one of us would play black, one of us would play white, and other team vice versa. And when we capture pieces, the other partner can play them on the board wherever they want. And vice versa,
yeah, nice,
obviously.
Nice. In the back row or anywhere?
Anywhere. I think anywhere. Yeah.
Nice.
Except pawns can't be, they have to be below the 8th rank because you can't queen them immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a fun game. It's like very chaotic and social, and it's just a lot more bullshitting.
Definitely. Very fast though, right? You can't like chat.
You chat, but it's more like I need a knight, like
oh yeah.
Or like don't do that. So
awesome. Cool. Well, I'm gonna turn in.
Yeah.
But great to catch up with you.
Shooting the shit.
Good. Good chatting.
All right. Peace.
Did we get any viewers on our stream?
I think we might have. I'm not sure. I have to check.
Don't be surprised.
Stop streaming. Yes, stop streaming.
0 views. Bummer. Oh no, that's a video. That's might not be the same as the stream.